Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the morning routine. We are having some severe technical difficulties this morning. I apologize for being late. I have downloaded the new iOS 11 onto my iPhone, which is what I broadcast with every morning. And this morning, I kept trying to going live, and it just freezes. This iOS 11, well, let's stop. Let's slow down. Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday morning, and welcome to October. It's October 2017, Halloween month. Very excited to be here, and I hope that you had a wonderful weekend. So let me start afresh. So over the weekend, as you know, Apple released the iOS 11 for the new devices, and I downloaded it onto my iPhone. And it's been interesting over the last 2 days. So there's been good moments, and then there's been trials. One of the trials is obviously this morning with our morning routine. I tried 4 times to go live, and it would just freeze right before it would do anything. So it's a little glitchy, this iOS 11. Hopefully it doesn't do that every day. That would be really bad, you know? So some of the things it does have is pretty cool. Like you could set the feature that when you get in your car, it automatically realizes that you're moving, more than a walking speed, and it instantly turns itself into a do not disturb mode, which is very cool. And it's got some really neat features. I was playing around with it. Things look a little different. You got a files folder now, and this and that, and all these little things. But anyways, overall, it's another update in the world of Apple phones. But anyways, I am getting started off in a very combobulated mode this morning because that glitch just got me all thrown off this morning. I'm like, I'm frazzled right now. So we got to breathe, and we got to slow down, and we got to relax and enjoy this beautiful Monday morning. The mist is coming off the water outside the window out there, and the ducks are well, they were squawking, but all of a sudden now they've gone quiet because I've said that. Actually, guys, you want to see what it looks like back there? Let's take a little morning walk. We've never done this before. Here we go. Let's see. Oh, look at that. See that? That's the studio. You guys never saw the studio back there. Here we go. We're taking a walk this morning on the morning routine. Insulation. Like that. Yep. Itchy, scratchy. And there is the mist coming off of the lake. You can hear the geese out there a little bit. It's like the United Nations of geese. They're underneath the tree, out in the water, right back over there somewhere. There's a ton of them. Man, you should see them all. There they are. Oh, wait, it's too bright. You can't see it. Anyways, beautiful morning out here. Monday morning, first day of October. And we're here in the morning routine. So who cares if iOS 11 is a little glitchy, right? It's a beautiful day. Who cares? So things could be worse. But anyways, I hope everybody's weekend was a solid weekend. Hope you guys, sorry for picturing my chest there. But anyways, hope you guys' weekend was a great weekend and whatever. So Saturday, we got to go to a wedding. Had a beautiful day on Saturday, and it was a little cold, a little windy, but a gorgeous event and a beautiful location. And it was kind of interesting because as my son and I dropped my wife and daughter off a couple minutes early, and my son and I had to run to the store, and we got back. We came walking into this wedding venue, and the only person that we knew at the entire venue was the bride, okay, as far as my son and I. And we're walking through, and all these people were there, and nobody stopped us. Nobody looked at us strange. And we walked around it, and all I could think of is we could totally be crashing this wedding, and because we didn't know anybody, and they didn't know us, like we were, from out of towners, So it re-encouraged the idea that for 20 years now, one of my bucket list things is I want to crash a wedding. I just want to crash a wedding. And my wife, I've been trying to talk her into it for years. And my last attempt was when we were out of town and we were staying in a hotel. We were already dressed up. There was a big wedding. It was an awesome opportunity, and she wouldn't do it. And her excuse that time was because we would have been the only white people in the entire room, which was true, but I just thought it as the challenge got set higher, because then you walk in and really everybody's looking at you, and we'd be like, hey man, you know, was a college roommate or whatever it might be. So we were practicing this weekend on what we would pretend, my daughter and I and my niece. We had a great time. It was fun. So someday I will have a story for you on the morning routine of the wedding that I slipped into that didn't belong. So anyways, let's see what's going on today. What is going on in the wide world of sports? Some stories for you this morning. Interesting stories. Here we go. This one I love. You know, this makes just so much sense. Instead of forcing people to learn to do things a new way, right? Why it makes so much more sense to put things that are familiar to them and just right in front of them and let them just kind of have a comfort level right into it. So the U.S. Navy, the Navy in charge of protecting our borders around the world, the most advanced submarines in the world, will now be using Xbox controllers on their ships. Yes. Doesn't that just make sense? You got kids coming out of high school, going into the Navy. They've been playing Xboxes forever. Why wouldn't you make an Xbox controller part of the ship that they're going to use instead of forcing them to use some other thing? So listen to this. The control room of one of the Navy's most advanced submarines is filled with sophisticated computers, flat screen monitors, and sailors who grew up in a digital world. At times it can look a bit like a video game arcade, not just because of the high-resolution graphics. The Navy is beginning to use the Xbox 360 controller to operate the periscopes aboard the Virginia-class submarines. So they're trying it. They're starting out with the periscopes. Now, the periscopes are not the things that you remember with the tube that turns and, you know, whatever, like from the movies. Do, you know, that was a bad do, ding, ding. That was trying to be a sonar there, you know, but didn't work. Anyways, it's been replaced. The new periscope has been replaced with two photonic masts that rotate 360 degrees. They feature high-resolution cameras whose images are displayed on large monitors that everyone in the control room can see. Sort of like the Star Trek, you know? PS4 users are going to have really big problems, Kevin, because they're going to be like pushing the wrong button and launching missiles by accident. I don't know. But so this new controller will control that thing. Lockheed Martin and the Navy officials have been working to use commercial, off-the-shelf technology to reduce costs. Listen to this. The Xbox controller is significantly cheaper. Do you think so? The company says the photonic mast hand grip and imaging control panel that they were using cost $38,000. It's being replaced with an Xbox controller for $30. Seriously. It took them this long. I mean, Atari controller could have done the same thing, I think, you know? I mean, if you learned the game of combat on the Atari, I mean, you know, that was tanks and planes, and you could pretty much control anything with that thing. But anyway, so that's pretty cool. The Navy is coming up to date. I love it. So let's see here. Next. So this whole thing with flying cars, we talk a lot about it. Technology is advancing. It's going to be here. There's going to be drones that are carrying people. There's going to be automatic, self-driving cars. There's going to be all these different things. Well, the flying cars, they're now needing engineers, but there's no training program out there. So for the first time ever, there is now going to be an online course, a college course, or certificate type course that you can take to learn how to be an engineer working on flying cars. In the past year, flying cars have gone from LOL, laughing out loud, to maybe a real thing, to a booming industry raking in huge cash and churning out sweet renderings of future travel. I see a future, says this person being interviewed, I see a future where everybody flies at least once a day. Getting there, however, will require a ton of work, building the aircraft, making them reliable, teaching them to land safely and avoid each other in congested airspace. So, they need engineers to be able to do this. Next year, an online education company called Udacity, they're quite large online company, will inaugurate the Flying Car Nano Degree program. The course, whose cost and duration remains to be determined, promises to prepare anybody who meets some key requirements for a job in this most Jetsony industries. So this is getting to be a real deal. This is a 10 to 20 hour a week course. Don't know how long it lasts, but you can go and get certified to get a job in the flying car industry right through this online program. So anybody who's looking for a change in career, you could be the next flying car engineer. Very exciting. And then last but not least, a little bit of interesting information. The mysterious origins of the phrase, liar, liar, pants on fire. You ever wonder where some of these things come from? Like, who made these things up? So there is an article. If you go to the show links when we're done here and go there, you'll be able to see a full article and history of where liar, liar, pants on fire comes from. Some quick little snippets from it. Liar, liar, without the pants on fire has been around a long time. As early as the 1400s, people would call each other out using the phrase, liar, liar, lick dish. The idea being that the accused will lie as fast as a dog will lick a dish. The earliest full example found of liar, liar, pants on fire was in the 1930s. Specifically, the August 13th, 1933 issue of the Sunday World Herald, in an article titled, Fat Pat to Wrestle Savage Because the Public Wants It. What is that? A reporter wrote that fans have been clamoring to see Fat Pat McGill wrestle Steve Savage to the extent that the local wrestling promoter has been deluged by letters, swamped by phone calls, and buried under an avalanche of telegrams. This news is followed by a cheeky defensive article. It says, "It is so, you liar, liar, pants on fire. It was only several people who called you up." So that was the first time that they saw the whole thing used. But there is a lengthy article here, and it's quite interesting. So make sure you go to the show links and check it out because you'll for sure enjoy it. So let's jump on over and see Google Trends. And my feet feel really crummy now because I have socks on and I walked outside in the dirt to show you guys the beautiful view out there. We might have to do that more often, man. What a beautiful start that was. Man, gorgeous out there. All right, so the top 10 most searched things yesterday on Google. Number one, top of the list, is Las Vegas. There was a shooting at a casino in Las Vegas, guys. Bad news, man. Bad stuff to wake up to, that's for sure. But that happened yesterday, and it's trending on yesterday's searches. Number two, Dallas Cowboys. Number three, Catalonia. Number four, Derek Carr, football player. Number five, FAFSA. That's the college deal thing. Number six, Chris Carson. Number seven, O.J. Simpson. He's released and he's out, and that's that. Number eight, the NBA. Number nine, Dalvin Cook. He's a football player as well. Number 10, Curb Your Enthusiasm, the TV show. That's on HBO. That's the Curb Your Enthusiasm is the show. Larry David, who was the head writer producer for Seinfeld. And I think Curb Your Enthusiasm is now into like 8 seasons or something like that. Funny show, I tell you what. Although they added a character, I actually started watching one of the most recent seasons and stopped. They added a character that for some reason the dude cannot stop swearing, which I don't mind if I'm watching a movie or show and there's something, a little something here and there. That's fine. But when it's nonstop, I don't know. I can't get past that to get to the humor. I don't know. It just gets me. So anyways, so that's what's going on in the trends. Let's see what's trending on the news today. Top of the news list today. Let's go check this out. Trending on the top. Number one, Las Vegas is trending because of that shooting that happened there. This article right here is saying at least 50 have been killed there, guys, and over 200 were hurt. This is there's an article underneath it that says 20, but this one says 50. So I don't know which one is which, if it's 20 has been killed or 50 has been killed. Either way, this is just a scary story. Next on the list is Monarch Airlines. Monarch Airlines goes into administration. Flights canceled as huge repatriation efforts begin. Next is Marilyn Manson. Marilyn Manson cancels 9 shows after NYC stage injury. That's the singer. Next, 49ers versus Cardinals. 49ers lose as Larry Fitzgerald's overtime touchdown, 18-15. Next is Kim Jong-nam. Trial to lift lid on Kim Jong-nam assassination. Next is Los Angeles Unified School District. Next after that is Pauline Hanson. Pauline Hanson calls for voting age to be raised to 21 amid smoking debate. Okay. Next is Robert D. Hales. Mormon leader Robert D. Hales dies, served on top panels. And that is what's trending on the news today. Okay? Let's move on, guys. That news has me a little unsettled this morning. I tell you, what a shaky start to the day, man. iOS 11 not letting us get together in the morning routine for a while. Then we've got unsettling news. We've got all kinds of unrest. So let's see what's going on as far as a passage of wisdom. Today's passage of wisdom. Yes, okay. Today's passage of wisdom, guys, is Isaiah chapter 55, verses 8 and 9. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are my ways your ways my ways, declares the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. Let's start that again. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. Guys, what I see in this kind of attaches to what's going on today in the news and the unsettling things going on out there. That God's thoughts and ways are much, he uses the word higher here. They are much wiser. Have you ever been doing something and you're talking to a friend and you're like, so what are you doing? You're like, I'm going to do this, 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 this. And a friend says, well, why don't you do it this way? And you're like, oh, wow, that's like 10 times simpler. And I never even thought of that. You know, that's God's wisdom in all areas of our life. And I think when we get away from that wisdom and the higher thoughts and the higher ways and the wise ways, which he spells right out in his word. I mean, it's not like it's secrets, you know. But when we get away from those wisdom and the ways of being wise, that's when we end up in times of great trouble, like what's so unsettling today in the world and things that are happening. You know, this thing in the shooting in Vegas, I mean, that's just very unsettling. It's because we're getting away from a higher wisdom and a higher way. All I can say to cap that off, and not to spend too much time on this, is just trust that God's wisdom is the best thing for you. And sometimes it takes great faith and great trust because you don't know what to do, and you're just going to trust God that he does. And that takes a lot of faith sometimes. So I would tell you that today to be encouraged and to do that and to be okay with it. So let's pray, guys. Let's get this day started, okay? Father, good morning. Father, I am all combobulated this morning, God. And some days we wake up and we feel perfect and things are smooth. And some days we wake up and we start off the day already shaken. Father, I ask that today you be with us as we start our Monday, the first Monday in October, this new month of 2017. Be with us today. Give us the wisdom. Show us your ways and your higher thoughts so we can start off this day and this week in the way that you want for us. A way filled with wisdom and love and guidance and faith and being a light unto the world for you. Showing love to other people. Going after what it is that you created us for. Father, help us today as we seek you out, that we find you. Show us your ways this morning and help them be clear so that we know how to go through our day in this month and make it count for something more than just waking up in the morning and going to bed at night. Father, we love you, and be with the families that have been affected by this travesty in Las Vegas and this shooting. There is a lot of angst and anxiety and tears and loss this morning. Please be with all those families and with that city as they try to make sense of something that there is no sense to be made from. We love you. Amen. And that, my friends, is a wrap on probably one of the most unsettled morning routines ever. Tomorrow, hopefully, we'll be live on time, and we are going to have a great day today and into tomorrow. Until tomorrow morning, I can't wait to see you guys. And until tomorrow, don't forget to be exactly who you were meant to be. I love you guys. Have a great day.